to get plans and permits approved, that took up the whole 6 months.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, so, you're doing extensions. I think the hard money lender I used was like 3 months extensions at a time. So I'm already down and out like in the beginning because I'm waiting for this time frame. I got squatters coming like in, staying there and all this other stuff. Had to call police, get them out, but they still keep going back and forth, whatever. And then once I finally got the permits approved and I could start, everything in a sense went fine. But by the time I was done, the market now went from 4% interest rate to 6, 7.
Big shoe.
And so like the market of buyers that I was looking for, they're not there. Like they're looking at other houses whether it has like maybe a garage or whatever the case is. They don't trust the area just yet because this was actually in East Downtown. Like it's right next to East River 9, all this other stuff. Like people in Houston, you would think that if you had any kind of foresight, if you get this house, it's going to be like the Heights.
Right.
Like you gonna make your money back, no problem. But it's almost like you need someone from out of town that don't really understand, maybe someone from California, and be like, oh, yeah, I mean, this looks nice. It's a great property. The area, because I always say if the city is putting money where you at, then the valuation is coming. It's right behind.
100%.
But, a lot of people just don't see that vision. So that property, I went over budget a lot. So how I'm pricing the property is kind of like on the higher end too versus what I initially calculated my after repair value to be. And so, again, I mean, I think I went over budget probably 40,000. And then that's not even coupled in with all my holding costs.
And holding costs are just as bad.
Yeah.
So, and then I couldn't sell it for what I wanted, so I had to go ahead and refinance. And luckily, I was able to refinance at a decent rate. But I'm refinancing at damn near, what's my rate right now? Like 9, 10%. You know what I'm saying? So when my notice is high, so I'm almost forced to do Airbnb just to make sure you're right. So yeah, that process. Yeah. But again, I documented everything. So when I went, because I actually just finished a project right across the street from it, so that one went a lot smoother. I'm on month 5 with that one. So it's just, I always tell people just document the process as much as you can because it's going to make the process smoother. And then, like you had said, like if you're new to this, because I think all of us, we just have this mentality.
Let's go. Fine, we'll figure it out ourselves.
But if you're new to this and you have to find someone that's done this already because it's going to be hell.
Yeah.
Hell.
For sure. Yeah, I think, man, the most important thing you said, when you see, I always say when you see sidewalks coming in the neighborhood, there's a lot of development. I was always stuck.
That's crazy.
A lot like the city, they've already approved certain bonds and construction to take place. Just like with the rail, like I took the information in the department that I was in, knowing that they were going to bring a rail through the Field Ward area. So I'm like, this is gonna be the next. You know what I mean?
And they're still bringing more
still
rail.
bringing it. So it's just like even when nobody believes in your vision, like you still gotta press.
So you gotta
That was crazy.
100%.
When I think I showed you the gym when I first got it on Cleburne.
Yeah.
People saw it and was like, "Why here?" You know what I mean? Oh, it's too much work. It's just that and the other, right? But the crazy thing, and then I had people like, "Yo, why don't you just move to Pearland? You should move it out that way, or Fresno. You live out that way. Because of the." I guess the economy and then how the type of people that stay out there, but not knowing, I'm looking like, man, this is for the blow up over here in a minute. You know what I mean? And how I knew it was for the blow up, my lease at the time was, when I was leasing, was at a certain amount. The landlord went up 5 bands.
Shit.
I'm like, what? Now I'm thinking like, okay, I'm gonna try to act like one of those overnight movers. But I'm like, I got too much shit in this gym to be talking about movies.
Right.
But I'm like, man, I got to figure something out, man. We gotta get something. I'm calling him. I'm like, yo, bro, we gotta find something. We set the meeting up.
Landlord, and he already saw what was going on. Like the landlord was already mentally invested in what he could gain. he didn't want to do nothing with the building at the time, but when he saw what he turned it into, all right, this is the price I want. Yesterday's price is not today's.
Yeah.
I mean, so
but
I see one of those.
you got to respect it.
Yeah.
And, you know, me and my brothers was talking. He was like, man, that's fucked up. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, hey, it's business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to respect it. So, like, if you do grab a property and, you know, you see that the area is blowing up and the landlord goes up before you try to buy or before you purchase, man,
plan of action, man.
please, right.
Put a owner finance.
Place,
put an option to buy. Like,
Yep.
even if you don't buy, have an option.
Had an option,
at
yeah.
least if you do 2-3 years, you gotten the equity out of it.
Right.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like, you've made the revenue off
Yep.
of it. Say, if I want to walk away, I at least made my money back
Right,
times
right.
10. If you don't want to sell it to me, cool. I got enough money now off tax
somewhere.
returns to go ahead and buy my own or build my own.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And so it's just about being strategic, man, in this business in general. Just over time, the experiences that you have, and like you said, you took some losses on some properties, but by the content, nobody would know that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? They'd be like, man, he doing it. Like, they'll look at us and be like, man, they doing
Yeah.
it. It look nice. The presentation is good, but
Yeah.
man, it took some licks and bruises. You see what I'm saying?
100%.
To get to a certain point of life where you're at right now. So, you know, I think that's the beauty of it. Even with all the guys, me knowing him, me knowing TJ, it's like I know just through personal conversation, like what we've all, you know what I mean,
Right.
experienced. We've all experienced a bad landlord. We've all experienced a high-ass hard money loan, right? You know what I mean? Like the payments,
Real talk.
outrageous, bro.
outrageous.
Like for my crib, man, now,
Yeah.
when we refinance, like to get more money out of the loan, because we ended up having to change the design. Like we had to add more square footage. They went from 8.5 to 12%. So 12% on $1 million is easy math. That's 12,000. We were paying $12,000 a month for like 3-4 months. I was like, we gotta get this shit finished up. So all the finishes in there are good, but now we're going back and, you know, making adjustments. You know what I mean? There's certain finishes, paint, things of that nature.
Mhm.
You get in bed with those hard money lenders, especially if you have an asset.
Mhm.
They waiting on you to not make a payment or default. It's just crazy, man. But you know, that's a part
It's
of
the game.
So
It's
in this industry, you know, now, I mean, social media is everything. So what are you guys doing to promote your business? I mean, I see what y'all do on Instagram, but like, do y'all go through ads and shoot ads out? Do y'all go newspaper route, green sheet? You know, they got a green sheet here. You know what I mean?
Is green sheet still? It's still
I guess. Yeah. I'm just saying. What
Y'all ever go
route?
on Marketplace?
Marketplace. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
I've been on Marketplace, no cap.
Yeah.
I done
So,
seen
like,
it fly.
I mean,
You know what I mean?
Instagram, all y'all content is dope. You know what I mean? We got to get my boy content up. But hey, we gonna turn him up. But
We know what the finished product.
yeah,
is like.
yeah,
When
one thing about it, this guy got an eye.
yeah.
Design. You go to one of his properties, you be like,
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Man took a little time.
Yeah.
We got
Yeah.
it. We got it
If
right.
we can just
Yeah.
get him a cameraman to follow him, it's over. He got everything else.
I'm not a camera dude, and that's the thing. Like y'all, I admire the people that shoot the content. I'm like, man, that look good. Like I would definitely like, you know what I mean, have my schematic, you know, set up like that. But I just don't have the
get it.
energy and time
Right,
to do it. Like,
get
am I
it.
gonna really set up 2 cameras or 1 camera with a stand? And you know what I mean? I told you I got the click button.
Mhm.
I'm
Hold
in
like a fist,
101, right?
ball
With the
fist and all.
fist, like, yeah, I'm clicking. You know what I mean?
That's
But,
hilarious.
yeah, I mean, I think everybody's probably to some capacity advertised through Instagram or Facebook, or you know what I mean. Of course, they're now the same as Meta, right? So everybody's kind of, you know, advertised through that, you know, particular outlet. But even Instagram and Facebook are getting greedy. Like, you know what I mean? They cut down your engagement.
Yep.
So I mean, you got to
Crazy.
really have a market, which is important for you guys when you're shooting content, because you're engaging with people. So now they really can tap into what you do as a person, as opposed
Yeah.
to seeing what your post is. So
Yeah.
when they see you get on lives or see you, you know, do stories, they're engaging. And so I think that's the biggest thing for anybody. And for me, like with a property, I pretty much have a pretty decent network of people that they like the product. Whenever it's done, they're gonna come by. So I haven't really had to, you know, do too much marketing. So
That's
to
a
speak.
blessing.
Yeah.
That's a blessing.
Right.
Yeah.
Do that. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah. I
So-
mean, this is. Yeah. Go ahead.
No,
go.
I was gonna ask.
No, I mean, it's just to your point. I mean, it's about adding value, right? I think a lot of people kind of misconstrue the way money flows because the math with money is not to work more hours and make more money. In theory, if you work more hours, you get paid $20 an hour. You work more hours, will you make more money? Yes, but of course you'll be capped. It's about adding value to the marketplace. The marketplace is outside, social media, any people around you, and that's what we do on social media. We're just adding value to build credibility, build our brands, and like you said earlier, especially with the way Instagram is and these social media platforms are going right now, it's important that they want to see exactly what, not so much, it's one thing to just talk to the camera, but if they can actually see what you kind of do, that's incredibly more value. That's what about a lot of our content shifting to. We want to bring them out to the field a lot more. We want to have more conversation, probably riding the cars, things like that. Just so we're trying to switch things up too. So
and that's important too. And so like when you take that money that you make from real estate and you put it into another business, that business may require a lot more content. Like this particular is my brand, PRD.
All right, Cam.
One time for the one time.
Public relations department. But you put that money, you're gonna have to create some form of content to have people engage. And so if I'm not doing it in real estate, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over 10 times to another business. So make sure I'm gonna get with y'all cameraman.
See what's what.
And see what's what.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
I think, especially within obviously the biggest way right now, social media, whether it's through like Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, whatever the case is. Really the biggest way, honestly, too, is again, once you do provide that value, just try to figure out a way to capture those people so that, biggest one is an email list, right? So, once they're in the email list, these are people that really are rocking with you. So you do decide to, promote, selling a course or selling something or having some kind of event. That's who you hit first. Those are going to be the people that try to buy from you the quickest versus always posting on social media. Now you're relying on boosting your post or running Facebook ads. I mean, I've heard recently, and I still need to test it out myself, like running, Facebook ads has obviously been kind of whatever. Trying Bing ads, like Bing, like what you paying for Facebook is going to be lower with Bing because a lot of people, whatever, but people are still on Bing, surprisingly. So that's another thing I'm gonna test out too. But yeah, I think social media, just creating that value and then try to get your followers from all these social media platforms into your own ecosystem is really the best route to go.
Network.
100%. To piggyback off of what you said also, is like providing that value is huge, and then the credibility. I think now a lot of people say they don't want to get on social media and post, but like it's credibility. Nowadays, like when you meet somebody, like for me, for sure, like if I meet somebody and he's saying he does all these things and he wants to get locked in with me and we're going to do a project together, I got to see it. Like I need to go to your page and be able to see what you have going on and legitimize it through that. Right. And that's just kind of the times we're moving to. So credibility, providing the value. And then also, like you said, that community where you have people that are buying into what you are doing and what you're saying. And then they want to, because let's say you want to go raise money or whatever it is, you have a community of people that trust you and that are seeing what you're doing, and they want to invest in you and whatever you have. A lot of people just they'll ask you for something like, man, you need to come out with a course, you need a shirt, something. I want to put some money in your pocket. Right. And so that happens a lot. And a lot of times just being authentic and just really showing, like he was saying, your day to day, you headed to the job site, just posting a video of what you do, your day in a life, and just so they can really see it. Because Instagram and social media, you can always fake things, right? But when you're doing it on a consistent basis, it's like, how much can you really fake? You can really be authentic. And not to say people can't still do it, but just providing value, building a community, and also just being authentic and then providing.
I thought too, like I'm trying to see how we can get my audience more tapped into not even just the business side, even a peek into stuff outside of business too. 100%. So that's why I'm thinking about going more into gym content. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I don't really post gym content like that.
And that's what mine is, right? That's what mine is.
So it's part of your daily rhythm. What's crazy is, all right, so I'm heavy in the gym. So my content is gym. You know what I mean? So now I'm trying to get and shoot my content like what y'all doing, like my flips or just the whole lifestyle thing of what I do, my other businesses and stuff like that. So that's the crazy
it's like
part.
reverse.
It's reverse.
And it really benefits you too, because when people know exactly what you're doing, because like you said, like you would just think that you're on fitness, but they don't know about the trucks and the real estate and all the other things that you're involved in. And so it's just really good to just show that. And like that's one thing I had to like realize when I started, was just like, showing, because I got into it because one of my friends was like, man, when I was building my first business, he was like, bro, you got to show people what you're doing. Like, this is cool. And I just think it's boring. Like, I was just like, nobody wants to see this. But even just in the sense of you going and working out, headed to your job site, and then coming back home and cooking a healthy meal, they are interested in that. Like, they want to see that. Because
that's motivation. But that's motivation too, because it's like people say they don't have time.
Yeah.
Like I see him be at the gym 5:30 in the morning. He in there getting it. You know what I'm saying?
And all your post
and he gone, you know what I mean? And he flipping houses, building hotels and all types of stuff. You know? So
it's relatable.
We got to be careful though, because we want to be known for like a very few things, right? We want to be, in terms of how we make money. Right. Now, we need to couple that with lifestyle things, right? And then that's, to me, that's the recipe I'm trying to get to. I actually have other businesses that I'm doing. We have a bookkeeping firm. We're actually into solar now, things like that. But you likely want to actually catch me advertise either of those businesses. Honestly, I want my niche to be the Rentrepreneur, which, by the way, that's the brand, by the way, TM.
There we go.
That's trademark, by the way. So, you know what I'm saying? So, but I want people to know, all right, TJ is a real estate, you know what I'm saying? But I want them to also see other side of TJ. But I just think it's very, very important to be careful, because when people know that you are champion something, then you're a lot more credible that way, for sure.
Sure.
100%. I had to niche it down because, I mean, it had got to a point, you can ask 10 different people, what do I do? They'll get 10 different answers, right? And then I just had to be like, all right, let me get to a point where it's niched down. Like, all right, you can talk about my dude, like, let's just say he's a lender at this point, or he's like in real estate. That way I could just niche it down.
Yeah.
You know,
so lender in real estate is a sweet pair, though.
Right.
Sweet pair.
But then after a while, it starts, to some people, when they hear it, it's like, okay, everybody in real estate. You know what I mean? And then you don't want to be a part of that crowd that everybody tell you.
Yeah. So you want to,
but you don't want them to be, you know what I mean, in your business to where it's intrusive. So it's just like, I'm a serial entrepreneur. We're like, oh, what all do you do?
Yeah.
I'm a serial entrepreneur. That makes sense.
Yep.
Not make money what makes sense. Because people say they're making money, and you can still, like I said, operate in the rig every time you're making money. But that's important, man. It's just like, what am I really doing, you know what I mean, on my day-to-day? You know, you letting people into your life you got to be real open, because that's a vulnerable moment.
Yeah.
You know what I
It
mean?
is.
People really think they know you off of what they
100%.
see,
Yeah.
which is, it could be good.
that
and it
shit's
could be
scary.
It's scary. That's
So you go somewhere, how
I've
is
been out the country multiple times and people recognize.
Yeah.
Right.
It's crazy.
When people, it's funny, like when I put my son on Instagram, they like, oh, look at Parker. You don't know Parker.
Right.
Look at my son. You know what I mean? They be like, leave Parker alone.
Bro, I done been out. I done been out. Oh, how's Caden?
Yep.
Like, what?
What?
Yep.
Man, let me take this down.
You
His
gotta
birthday was yesterday, right?
Right.
What?
really
That's the aspect I'm protecting.
Yeah.
Like, you know, a lot of people are like, why you on post?
Gotta
You know, the
protect.
family out and like that's
Man,
private time.
yeah.
Like, I don't live.
Yeah.
For me, I don't live on social media. I live in the moment. You know what I mean? Like, depending on what it is you're doing, it's required. But for me, I live in the moment. When Instagram came out, what, 2011, 2012?
Something like that.
So,
I remember I ran up the following to like maybe 18,000, 19,000, right? After the page got deleted, I'm like, man, this shit for the bird. I'm not spending time trying to get people to follow me. You see what I'm saying? Like, if I'm not providing anything that's gonna be beneficial to them, like, I just want to keep a simple lifestyle, be cool, get to the bag, make sure my family is good, and keep it moving. If there's something I'm trying to promote, then we'll figure out how to incorporate that into my day to day. But yeah, you just got to be careful with that, man. What you post and what you put, and like you said earlier, it's like you want to let people in and see if they want to collab with you. But you got a lot of people that post videos of people's houses that they don't, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, we did X, Y, Z.
Yeah, I'm about to do your house. I'm right out there, yo. So yeah, I just finished doing this down here.
And it's so easy.
You come outside, I'm like, yeah, that's my tenant.
Right, but I let the home, like sometimes I let the homies do that. I let them, you know what I mean? They shine on it. It's cool. Like, we rock like that. Like, I don't have a problem with you doing that to shoot.
You gotta watch what you.
Gotta watch who. You see what I'm saying?
And I think there's just a balance too, because like you said, like when you're showing so much of your life and your business, and like you said, you go out and people will recognize you. So like you really have to find that balance of like showing everything, but also keeping your life private in some areas, because
it's a tough balance.
it's a tough balance, and you just really have to find it, because you're gonna get noticed, and depending on what you throw out there, it could get personal, and you just gotta find and maneuver through it.
They come to the crib and be like, "You look familiar," and I'm like, "Do I look familiar because you really saw me online, or do I look familiar because of how I'm living?" You see what I'm saying?
Right.
The people will deliver Amazon. They'll try to, I need to bring the package, and you can drop it right there.
Right there at the gate.
You don't got to come in. I remember Amazon. We were finishing up the house. A person walked in. It was their first day. They walked in the house to deliver a package. I'm like, looking at my people like, what's?
I did that. One time when I think that builders were there, you wasn't there.
I told you to come. That's the
I drove.
different.
I'm driving up. I'm
Walk
like,
right inside.
yeah, bro, doing it right. I didn't walk my son with me. Like, Dad, who house is this? I was like, it's my homeboy house. You good? Come on, let's go. We walked through.
Well, he called me. He was like, "Hey, I'm at the house." I'm like, "You at the house?" I'm looking on the camera. I'm like, "You good? You good?" But the gate wasn't on there. So
Yeah, it wasn't no
you
gate.
just pull in. So
Yeah.
ain't no, you just not pulling up. You
Yeah.
just hit me on the call box. Yeah, it's real Hollywood major going on.
So with that being said, so when is the collab, man?
What y'all trying to do?
What y'all trying to
We
do?
gotta-
Man,
we
he
gotta
got
just
the
do it.
hotel.
I have to make something happen.
Yeah, we just gotta.
Hotel.
It's gotta be a big, decent deal
Gotta make
where we all can eat,
Gotta
Make it make sense.
make it make sense.
Make it make
I got it. Hey, I got deals now.
I know, right? I was gonna say the same thing.
I mean, good ones,
Yeah,
commercial. Talking about
Yeah.
hotels that we're raising capital for right now.
I got a lot right now off of Captain by LBJ. It's a 12,000 square foot lot. Adjacent to it is another 12,000 square foot lot. So you got about half an acre. I was already doing some kind of design and sketches. You put about 10 townhomes on it. I mean, it's super tucked. Like a super tuck is quiet over there, has mature trees. So I was just thinking, I'm like, even if I don't take it, like it's an opportunity for somebody to take on. I'm always, that's a 10 ain't probably ain't gonna work. Ain't gonna lie. Bed service on there going.
Hey, that 10 ate up just off the estimation.
Yeah, man, the project is gonna probably cost like 2.6. You know what I mean? But You'll gross. You probably gross like 3.5.
I'm gonna hit you for 20 just to clear the land. You already, hey kid, how much you gonna charge me?
Right. He's
A dub.
20.
A dub.
Man, a tree fell over in the storm. I just need you to go.
A dub.
But yeah, nah.
But that's
A
what's
lot
up.
of deals. You mean a lot of deals. You just gotta look at the market. You know what I mean? Like you gotta see who's really spending that type of money right now. Like certain houses that you build, like you were talking, like TJ was talking about, like he did the property over in, was it Bel Air?
Yeah.
Bel Air is like there's only a small percentage of people that buy at that level.
Yeah.
So your product has to be.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? It has, like we talk about, people say bring your pickiest buyer. Your property has to be that property that they go look for in that area.
They picky.
Right. So if you got something in between 275, 375, you're gonna get a bigger pool of buyers. But with the rates being so high, there's a lender. It's like you got people that got 700 plus credit scores, make good income. They getting approved for like what 200.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no houses for two like that. Yeah, not what they
Not at
want.
all.
Not what they want at all.
Everybody want 350 and up.
Yep.
Right.
So,
Right.
right.
One of my students just closed on a property, no interest.
Wow.
No interest. He bought a property, owner finance, no interest. Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like our school system, I think society, our school system teaches us that in order for you to own a home, especially growing up, in order for you to own a home, you need a bank. You need a mortgage. You got to have a mortgage. And I mean, honestly, it's not necessarily true. And banks are amazing. That we love them, we leverage them, but they're actually winners as well. With every single one of these deals, they're the real winners.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll give you an example. If you were to buy a house right now for $500,000 at 6.5% interest, your mortgage would probably be right under $3,000. Let's just call it $3,000 a month. And by the time you've paid it off in 30 years, that you would have paid about $1.5 million on a $500,000 house. If you were to approach that same seller and you say, you know what, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I'll give you $600,000 for your house, $600,000, a whole $100K more, but I'll give you $2,500 a month until it's paid off. Did you know that house gets paid off 10 years sooner? Not only that, how much did you pay for it? $600,000, not $1.4 million. Right. So what we got to look at with these real estate deals when we leverage banks is that they're the real winners. It's because of interest, right? And so, but he's just, for example, he just closed his deal. the seller owns the property free and clear. Now, you can't do a deal like this if it's not free and clear.
Right.
If there's already debt on it, it doesn't work. You have to satisfy that debt. So because it's free and clear, we just said, hey, what are you asking for? They wanted $90,000 for the property. And we shot them 2 offers. We shot them an offer for 67 because that's what we needed it for to make it work with a hard money loan. Or we shot them an offer for 95 with no banks, interest, principal only payments to you directly with no banks involved. And the seller was like, well, why, did I read this right? You going to give me a little bit more, like even more than I'm asking. I said, well, if I were to go get a bank loan for this property, I'm going to have to pay for this property 3 times over because of interest. So instead of giving the bank the money, how about I give it to you instead?
Right. Thanks.
That was the pitch to the seller. Yeah. And they were like, it makes a lot of sense, right? So, it's a different kind of, when it comes to real estate, especially with interest rates the way they are right now, you kind of got to know these things. Yeah. If mortgages were never created, which by the way, mortgage, the root word for mortgage is morgue. Like literally, it's called a death note. They want you paying on it until you die, right? That's what it's for. So if mortgages were never created, how do you think we'll be doing real estate?
Right.
If Greg bought a property from you and maybe he put down a down payment with you and he's giving you monthly payments because he just put down a down payment with you. Say, I want to buy that property from Greg. Okay, how about I buy it from you? Okay, well, I'm making payments to Kent. All right, how about I just take over that note and I give you the difference? Just take it over, right? Or we just do a wraparound mortgage on it, right? So, or I give you a down payment and I start making you pay. Like that's how we would be doing real estate without mortgages. So it's interesting now. It's considered creative financing, because banks are involved, right? But in reality, you don't necessarily. Now banks are great, but in reality, man, you got to really understand, when you understand how interest works, then you really know who the real one is.
Right. Another thing too that you can do is that if you own a financial property, you can add it to your balance sheet.
Yeah.
I mean, you can add it to your balance sheet and your PFS. And so once they go pull it up, they're not going to show debt on there. But if they do look it up with the tax record, it's going to show that it's in your name. Mm-hmm. See, a lot of people don't even, when you don't go through that, you just do the untraditional process. Yeah. You're just doing owner finance and having your own papers. Mm-hmm. It's best to go through the title company.
Yeah, 100%.
The company, let them put the deed of trust on record. So when they go look at that, oh, he does have an asset. You don't have to disclose to them that this house cost me XYZ. Mm-hmm. So pull it. And if you can't pull it, that's on you. You know what I mean? Like there's ways, like you said, creative financing to get around it. And that's what I'm looking at more in terms of like, if I'm buying property, I'm just strictly on the finance.
Yeah,
let's do one with your house. Let me buy your house. That's creative finance.
It's funny you said that, but I mean, when I looked at the amortization schedule, on 1.3, after it's paid off, the bank would have made almost $4 million, bro.
Crazy. That's crazy work.
$4 million, yeah.
Do nothing.
Yeah.
Crazy work, and they do nothing, and they do
collect. That's it, right?
And if you mess up, they take it and redo it again.
100%.
Right.
100%.
Like we got like $1 million in equity, like $1 million, one or something in equity on the crib. So I'm just talking to my wife, like, how can we figure out how to go down on these principal payments? You know what I mean? And when the market does get back to a position where, the interest rate, we got like 5.5, even in the bad.
Oh, that's good.
You know what I mean? We got
that's real good.
5.5 on the private side. So it's like, once the rate goes down, I don't think it'll go to the 2s anymore. But even if it's at 3.8, 3.9, refinance that
done. Oh yeah.
Start just dumping it.
Oh yeah.
Right now, it's and I'll be transparent. The payments, principal and interest is $7,500. Right, principal and interest. Principal is about $2,000. Interest is $5,000.
Look at that, man.
$5,000, bro. Interest. So when I look at I'm online and I'm looking at the numbers, I gotta start moving the numbers.
Like how many payments I put down?
Yeah, bro.
Still ain't moved.
Yeah,
but yeah,
we love banks though. I mean, you know what I'm saying? My guy's a lender, so
I see both sides.
You know what I'm saying?
But
we
you probably be able to set up a deal like that though with somebody. Like so, let's say if I wanted to buy it from him and we ain't want to go through the bank, you can probably be able to set that up.
Yeah, 100%. And by the way, I don't care what kind of creative deal I don't care if it's owner finance, sub to lease option, whatever the case may be. Close at a title company, like he said. Still put title work. Close at a title company, no matter how you do it.
Yeah, you avoid the clouded title situation.
100%.
You know what I mean? So if you do want to refinance it, when you do build a structure on there, even if you're using out of pocket, cash, then you're not held up by somebody clouding the title. When we talk about clouding title, boy, these men randoms going crazy. These boys memo on these properties.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
crazy. So you got to make sure when you're doing deals too. Like if somebody gives you a wholesale deal, make sure that the memorandum is.
I'm calling you, bro.
You're right. You're right.
But look, man, we could talk all day about this. I know we can go all day. Might have to do a part 2.
Yeah.
But from TJ, let them know how they can find you on social media, your platform.
Man, listen, tap in with me at TJ Tajani. That's TJTIJANI. Pretty much it.
Cam?
You can tap in with me at Cam Jackson CEO on all platforms.
You can tap in with me at Greg T the Builder on Instagram.
And then Money Medu on all platforms.
All right, bet. So you can follow us on YouTube. You can subscribe to our page, The Muscle Hustle Podcast. Y'all already know.
Hit the button down
Hit the button. Hit the button.
Right now.
You
Right
see
now.
my dog.
Subscribe.
You already know. Hit the button down below.
Right now.
Like and subscribe.
And also, on June 13th, we have our 1-year anniversary at Tribeca, Emancipation.
Yeah.
I don't know the address, but
Yeah.
go down to our click the button down below.
You will know.
2 Emancipation.
Yeah, Emancipation. But hey, it's
I've
gonna
had 2
be
events there.
it's gonna be a treat, man. So I like to see all you guys out, man, and
Make it happen.
all our followers and subscribers. Please come out and support. All right, man. Great having you guys.
I appreciate
It was a
it.
pleasure.
Likewise.
You know,
Great.
Coco left me on this one. She had me. This is my first one. So hey,
You did
peace
good,
out.
brother.
Yeah,
You did good.
Round of applause for
Round of applause for my guy, Cam.